Welcome back to the Circle of Jerks. I think we might have a full house tonight of the full circle. Right now we're missing Mr. Cannonball Kurt. But to start out for our Game 4 recap, you've got the Bob Hartman, next to Peter Lundsteed.
What's up?
You
got it. It was perfect. Steve.
Like
I'm a Steve. Yep.
I got Boner, Jeremy over there, for those of you reading the transcript. I've got Mr. Flashing the Leather, Ryan Sucks Conco.
Hey.
With his sultry voice.
More sucks than a drunk Scott.
And welcome for the first time to the podcast, the commish, John Chattergoon.
I came for the snacks. There's no snacks.
Yeah, this is a classic bait and switch, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to recap week 4 here, and let's start out, overall thoughts on week 4. I thought it was a pretty exciting week. What do you guys think?
I thought the picks were awful. There was only one person that did better than one game.
Oh, really? Wait, who got more than one game right?
Well, I got one game right.
Okay, Pete got one game right. How many did Jeremy get?
0.
Okay, all right. Jeremy went over. Conco, how many did you get right?
I wasn't even keeping count.
Yeah. You got one.
He's Polish, can't count to one.
Basically, what happened was everyone got for 1. Jer Bear got 0, and Bob went 4-0.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Guess what team I didn't pick?
4-0. Bob, how does it feel? How did you know, or you did talk about during the Run DMC game that you gave him a beverage?
Yeah. Oh, no. I totally made sure that Zach got sick because I started to second guess my pick, and I was the only one to pick Public Enemy, and so I had to make sure that Zach got sick.
Well, it worked.
How was it transmitted?
I can't tell you all of my secrets. I just will let you know that it was not sanitary.
Well, he's 4-0. His team's 4-0. Things are going well for the Bob right now.
I love Wednesdays, man. I love Wednesdays. Well, should we jump right into the first game then?
Jumping into game 1. We have the Tribe Called Quest with 7 goals and a loss. Losing to Wu-Tang with 9 goals and a win. On the Tribe side.
So what typically happens when you score.
Tribe side, we had Mike Furlano with 4 goals, no assists, and a game star. Jeff Burge, 2 goals, 0 assists. John the Millennium Strachan, quiet night, 0 goals, 1 assist. Pat C, no ladies in the stands, no points on the board. Kurt Brownell, 1 goal, 1 assist. Brett Siebert, 53 saves, 85% save percentage. Flipping it to the Woo side. Joe Gant, 3 goals, 2 assists, and a game star. John Clusterfuck, 3 goals, 0 assists, game star as well.
We just lost a PG rating.
Kyle Antilla, 0 goals, 1 assist, and adamant that John Strachan was not going to get a point.
No, he's definitely adamant about that.
Bob Hartman, 1 goal, 2 assists. Steve Kazmark, 2 goals, 1 assist. Alex P, 48 saves, 87% save percentage.
So we're coming into this game. A Tribe Called Quest and Wu-Tang both at 3-0. Obviously, someone wants to walk out of the game. Both of the teams want to walk out of the game undefeated. To me, this game was not even close. I mean, the score was only a 2-goal deficit, but watching this entire game, Tribe was running around scrambling, just trying to figure out how to score goals. You guys out-tribed the Tribe, which I think is what you said, Jeremy, at the end of last night. You guys just out-hustled them. You played them to a complete T, and I think that's where the Wu-Tang comes into play. But and I think this is the scary part about working with guys like the Bob and John, the guys that have been in the league for such a long time, is they're seeing these players play, and you have guys like Mike Furlano and Jeff B, who you expect to score every week, but the reason that they've won every single week is because Pat has stepped up with 4 goals, and then Strack weeks with 6 goals and 2 assists, and then 7 goals. And all they did was just stop the 3 later guys. I mean, was that your guys' game plan last night?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to give the keys to everyone out there, but I'm going to. I thought that our strategy, I thought that we played a great game because we had a good strategy and we executed it perfectly. Our strategy wasn't to shut down the bottom 3 per se. Our strategy was to treat them like we treat anyone else. Mm-hmm. And so what we did is we kind of went into it and we said, all right, listen, Mike and Jeff are 2 great players. Make them beat us one-on-one. Like, we're not going to double up on them. We're not going to, go cheat their way too much. And yeah, so then we paid equal attention to the Stratocaster. We paid equal attention to Cousineau. We paid equal attention to Kurt. And just like you said, these three guys who've been scoring a ton of goals, we held them to a combined 1 goal and 2 assists.
Yeah, and John, I was really impressed with your play last night. There were so many times where your defense definitely stepped up big time, but your goal scoring, I thought, was one of the most impressive things of last night, simply because there was a time where you made a bad play when you had the puck deep, gave it up, they scored a goal directly on Alex. You immediately got the puck on the next possession, went down, and scored a goal. I mean, what was your game plan for last night to score these goals?
The immediate scoring of a goal after giving it up was just pure frustration. It was such a bonehead play. I see Gianni going through people's legs all the time. And I can't remember if it was say it loud, I'm Strack and I'm proud, or if it was Pat. But one of them was chasing me back and forth, and I said, you know what? I'm putting it through this guy's leg, and I tossed it to the other side of the gym. So I got to work on my touch a little bit.
Yeah.
As far as the goals being scored by myself, if you look, 2 of them, 2 out of the 3 are the first period, and I thought that Brett uncharacteristically left a lot open in the first period. And then he changed. He got better. But the first period, I was very surprised.
And it seems like he's been doing that the past few weeks, that he has been leading. The first period, he has been just kind of a little bit off. But I was watching that one goal. You were literally standing out on, I think it was the left side of the net at the point, right around the half boards, and you could see the entire top shelf. And you were just standing there, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do it. Yeah. Just top shelved it. I mean, it was a great game of you. I thought you had a lot of great scoring points.
Talk about Brett there for a minute. Yeah, I think he has had a little bit of a slow start there, but don't forget, we put 62 shots on him, and I think that the other side of things, I don't remember who I was talking to from Tribe Called Quest, but they were talking about how they didn't feel like they played a good defensive game. And honestly, I didn't even think about it during the game. Like, offense for me at least, offense for me is always secondary, but I felt like for our entire team, it was more secondary this game. Like, we were focusing more on the defense, and I think that was a big change. The other thing I want to say before I stop rambling here is I keep talking about how Alex gets better as the game goes on. He had a great first period. And like I said something to him after the first period, like, if you're a stadium beer and you're only going to get better as the game goes on, I must have been pregame or tailgating or something, because you already taste pretty good. It probably sounded a lot worse than I meant it to sound. But then I looked at the stats and I'm wrong. He had a good first period. He had an 83% in the first, 87 in the second, and 91 in the third. He's still getting better as the game goes on. Every single game so far, his save percentage goes up by the period.
And the crazy part to me is, as I'm looking at you guys have the second best goal differential in the league after this game. You're at a plus 12. You guys are at a minus 10 in the first period. In the first period, you guys are letting in 10 more goals throughout the first 4 games. But then you look at the second and third period, you're plus 11 and plus 10, which is the best in the league. I mean, that's just, it blows my mind that you can be so far behind in the first period. And granted, that's one of them is from the 8-2 deficit against Run DMC, but
even get rid of those 6, we're still in the negative.
Yeah, I mean, but you guys are scoring. It's a whole team effort. You guys just look very scary to me. It was a lot of fun to watch you guys play, and there's a reason that you guys won.
Yeah, I think we are starting to come together as a team. I don't want to sing our praises too much because it's going to end up chasing us and screwing me over. But we are starting to come together as a team, and I think we are pretty well balanced. Steve and I, when your 4th and 5th round picks have 3 goals and 3 assists on the night combined, you're playing a well balanced attack, and it's not like it was a blowout. I do have to say, contrary to your last point there, I agree. I think we are getting better as the games go on. But they did beat us in the third period. Mm-hmm. They beat us 2-1 in the third that time. And while you said that you thought it was the game was out of hand, I at least was nervous the whole time. Because, then Forlano goes in and puts in 2 goals in the second, 2 goals in the third, and you knew that. I felt like the entire game could slip away as soon as we started making mistakes. We had to execute flawlessly to beat that team.
Interesting point on your stats from the stats side is that your 2 assists were on Steve's goals and his assist was on your goal.
Well, we just got that connection. Me and Steve, we go way back. We were in preschool together.
Yeah, I mean, big win for you guys, going 4-0. Obviously, a great start to the season. Really, both goaltenders were great tonight. I thought this was definitely one of the best games of the night. I mean, an 87% save percentage for Alex, 85% for Brett. ATCQ just came up a little short. I don't think this is going to be a big hit for this team. I think you guys just played them to the absolute best you can play against this team. So it's just are other teams going to be able to play at that level in the future? And if ATCQ can come back?
You want to talk about short in the first period there. They lost by 2 goals overall, but in the first period they had 2 near misses that almost went in the net. One hit a post, and I think the other one was sitting right on the goal line or something like that.
Who's that? Tribe Called Quest?
Yeah.
Just barely missed it.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Yeah, I blocked those out. You know, I do have to say I disagree with one of the stat keepers game stars, and it's dangerous to do this sitting across the table from the guy. But you know, John Chatterton here, the commish, was given a game star from the stat keeper. I gotta give it to Alex. I thought Alex had a phenomenal game, and I think if he had a lesser game, he would have lost.
I agree with you there, but you guys won by 2 goals, and once again, I thought Alex did have a great game, but John, once again, I'm going back to the point of...
So you agree with me or you don't agree with me?
No, I agree with you at the point that he had a good game, but
So you just want to make everyone happy, but you're just disagreeing with me.
Absolutely.
And
Well,
you're
I'm agreeing
Alex,
with the fact
do you
that-
hear this? He's calling you out. He says you're no good.
Yes, I'm saying that you are no good, even though I did say that you did have a good game. I do think that John was a difference maker for this game. That was one of the notes that I put down there. Defensively, besides one screw up, but he came back with a quick goal. Offense was strong. Defense was strong. Overall, I thought you deserved the game star, John.
You know, you keep phrasing that like screw up and then come back. We call that a net zero. That's not a good thing.
That's why you got the win.
I agree that Alex should have the 3rd game star.
Humility.
Because of this one undervalued stat that we don't even keep track of, I think he's the best goalie in the league at covering the puck, at the freeze.
That's a good
And I don't know
Sure.
if it's because he's so small and he has better range, but he gets a lot of freezes.
Yeah, he's pretty agile. Like, he
Yeah.
jumps out.
Yeah.
Don't get any ideas. We're not keeping that stat.
No, we shouldn't, but he's
Just
really
keep
good.
face-off wins, too.
Oh man, and block shots.
Folks was like, yeah,
Block
Folks,
shots,
Folks
block
last night
shots.
as we were leaving was like, oh, we should start keeping block shots.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Folks brought that up to me, and I totally deflected to you. I'm like, oh, you should talk to Jeremy about that. Everyone else agree with the stat keepers game stars then, except for Chatterton and me?
Yep.
Other notes on this one? I mean, I could talk about this game all night long, but I think that we should probably move on.
Game 2. And we have Run DMC.
Oh wait, game 2 is even better because I think I'm the only one to pick this one right.
Run DMC with a loss and 10 goals. Losing to Public Enemy with 13. On the Run DMC side, Zach Davis, 5 goals, 0 assists, and a game star. Brian D'Angelo, 2 goals, 1 assist. JJ Wagner, 3 goals, 1 assist. Rob Maston, blanks. And Chris Magic Mikey, 1 assist.
That's it.
On the other side, Public Enemy.
Did you say Ramsey?
Oh, Ramsey, 50 saves, 81% save percentage. Chris Enright for Public Enemy, 8 goals, 0 assists, and a game star. Tim Anderson, 2 goals, 1 assist. Jeff Galooly, 2 goals, 3 assists, and a game star.
Matt
Oh, Matt Galooly, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Lally, 1 goal, 1 assist. Shane Humphrey, 0 goals, 1 assist. Bill Rylick, 52 saves, 84% save percentage.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you who didn't see the game, it's rumored, and I don't even think it's just a rumor. Like Zach wasn't feeling good. The rumor I heard is that he had the flu. I don't know, what it was, but it wasn't good. Kurt said he was going 60% of his 60%, which I had to double check the math. That's 36% for those of you scoring at home. And yeah, okay,
We'll go with it.
The wheels are turning here. Don't blow a gasket, but and it's a big difference. But even with it, he still scores 5 goals.
He's a great player. The guy is just so good. It didn't seem like he was playing very much last night. A lot of us were just like, why is he still sitting on the bench in the 3rd period? But I mean, anyone with the flu can really understand that. Why the heck is he even here in the first place? But without your top scorer, your team is it's very unlikely that your team's going to have a chance to win. They turned a 3, but on Public Enemy side,
They were down 9-6.
They turned a 3-goal deficit into a 3-goal win.
Yeah,
They played
down
impressive.
9-6 at the end of the second. So even with Zach with the flu, you got exactly what you're saying, a 3-goal deficit. And you know what? My criticism of Public Enemy in the past, and will probably continue to be, they play emotional. And it looked like the wind was out of their sails. They were down those 3 goals, or I think that a couple of points they were down 4 goals. And John over here is giving them a hard time from around the track, just kind of egging them on.
Well, because he thought he picked them
Yeah.
So he was
Yeah,
trying to egg him
I thought I
on.
was going 4-0.
Yeah. But then, there was life all of a sudden.
Mhm.
Like, they're down these 4 goals. It looks like, they might just quit. And they kind of came to that crossing, the fork in the road or whatever the right adage here is.
That works.
Is, are we just going to give up? Or is it going to turn? And it turned, and the momentum was just such a shift. I haven't seen it in a long time to see that momentum just change like that.
Well, the funny thing is that the momentum changed, and everyone else was feeling the excitement. Everyone in the stands, they were all. I mean, it was a sold out crowd.
Big crowd.
Sold out crowd. We were really excited. That's going to paying for this podcast, so we're really excited about that. But everyone was excited except for one person. And it was the guy that scored 6 goals in the third period, Chris Enright. The guy just seemed to stop caring. And the second he stopped caring, he just walked down the court and just kept scoring. I mean, I don't know what it was. Did anyone else see that last night?
Oh, yeah. No, he looked disinterested a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I talked to him after the game, and he said that he was getting so frustrated and mad the first part of the game that he just said that I'm just going to go out there. I'm not going to get angry like I usually do, and I'm just going to go play my game, try to enjoy it, and just not care. And then all of a sudden he puts up all these goals in the third.
But Bob, to your point, I mean, it's exactly what you were just saying, that they play emotion. So maybe if they take emotion out of it, how good can this team actually be?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say that they all play emotional. I mean,
They
Frank
play.
Gully there and Shane Humphrey,
Yeah.
they're a little more stoic.
Mm-hmm.
But the majority of that team, they're high or low.
Well, yeah, look at Tim and JJ mixing it up there for a while.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, for those of you who didn't see it, let's just, if you guys want to talk about it more, you can. I don't really know how to describe it.
It was so funny. I mean, because Tim falls on the ground, or JJ was on the ground, Tim was on the ground, and one of them tripped the other, and they were complaining
one
about
down
it.
first. It seemed like maybe the other one might have grabbed the other one and brought him down with him. I couldn't tell.
But there was no penalty call because one was on the ground, they fall over it. No big deal. It's just the play of the game. And then Tim gets really upset by it, and then goes and plows over JJ and gets a penalty for it.
I mean, it totally housed him. This was like Terry Tate office linebacker,
I felt so bad because the best part about it for me was that I was reffing period 1, and then Kurt took over period 2, and that's when everything went down.
That's Pete's disclaimer right there. Like, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
I was not repping that game.
I'm probably blaming John on that.
No, it really is my fault because I told Tim Anderson last week that he needs to be emotional, like he used to be.
Who tells Tim Anderson he needs to be emotional?
Have
That
you
guy's already
watched
emotional.
the first few games of the season? It's not the same Tim Anderson. So I told him last week, why are you so down?
Well, he took your advice.
He did, and it paid off.
Sorry.
If you would have watched the last minute
he
of
was-
that game, he was on fire.
Well, so that's
He
the
was.
funny thing, though. You said, not the old Tim Anderson. That's when they were arguing with the ref afterward. He was arguing with Kurt. He was arguing with Foss.
Yeah.
I was like, Tim, stop apologizing. And he looks up and he goes, I am not apologizing. That is the problem. I am not fucking apologizing.
No, but 10 minutes later, he probably was apologizing.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, he went and apologized to JJ, I think, on the face-off after they scored the power play goal.
you know what? I didn't hear it, though. I'll bet you he was actually just saying dirty things about his mother.
So, we have everything about, obviously, Public Enemy, huge comeback win, another great game by the full team really coming through. Bill, I still think he needs to keep an eye out on those poke checks. There was a couple times where they turned into goals. He's a very smart goaltender. He plays the poke check well, but he needs to watch out on it a little bit more. But, I mean, we're looking at 3 straight losses for Run DMC. Now, granted, week 2, they played without a sub and they lost. Week 3, they let one guy score 10 goals and they lose. 6 in the third. Again, week 4, they let a guy score 6 goals in the third period, and I understand Zach had the flu and it's an off night, but I'm still scared of this team. I don't know how I can keep saying this about this team without them continuously dropping. Like, when are they going to turn it on and actually be the team that we think they are?
It's their defense. To me, it's their
That's all.
defense. I mean, you get 2 goals from D'Angelo. You get 3 goals from JJ. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd like to see 1 or 2 more from Rob and 1 or 2 more from Chris. Like, that would have been a big difference. They have, I think, the deepest line in terms of Rob and Chris being your 4th and 5th round picks. Like, they're probably the best 2 4th and 5th round picks in the entire league. So you need more production out of there. But at the same time, you're giving up 13 goals. You're giving up 7 goals in the third period. You let them double up, more than double up in the third period. You can't do that.
No.
And it was on a bunch of shots. I mean, they put up Public Enemy put up 63 shots.
And 25 in the third.
Yeah, I had to double check that. I didn't believe it when you said it. Like, how you must say that.
Yeah, I mean, that was the difference between the third period. They come from behind win. Run DMC's got to turn it around sometime soon, though, or else they're just going to keep falling in the standings, and then I feel bad for the team that has to play in first round in the playoffs.
There are two things I don't want to get lost, and I don't want to gloss over before we move to the next game. The first one is the Lally to Tim connection, the Lally to Tim Anderson connection. Mm-hmm. There's something special there. Like, they hit each other a couple of times in the first period where, like, it was some crisp passing, and it looked really good to me. The other thing I want to say is Mr. Ferngully, Mr. Consistency. I mean, he's always in the right place at the right time. There were a couple opportunities he had that he didn't finish on, which was a little disappointing because I think normally he finishes those. But man, the guy was just. I thought he was. I gave him one of my game stars too. I thought he was a difference maker.
Yeah, I do enjoy when he scores. He's a happy person when he scores.
Yeah, that lately Tim Anderson connection has been going back to college to Fredonia.
Oh.
They've been friends and known each other. So
there you go.
That's true friendship.
We're a cult there.
Thank you, Kako.
And it is worth saying that one of Chris Enright's goals was an empty net goal. He does not count against Ramsey, but that is one of his 6 in the third.
All right, on to game 3.
All right.
Sugar Hill Gang loses with 9 goals to the Furious 5, who had 10 goals.
Furious.
On the Sugar Hill side, Gianni, 4 goals, 1 assist, and a game star.
Sucks.
Kevin Baldwin, 1 goal, 1 assist. Dave King, 1 goal, 0 assists. Jer Bear Bonet, 1 goal, 1 assist.
I thought it was Bowman.
It works.
Kevin Parker, 2 and 2. Alex Packard subbing for our normal goalie Steve, 55 saves, 85% save percentage. On the opposite side for Furious 5, Paul Paradine, 6 goals, 0 assists with a game star. Jesse Trado, 2 goals, 0 assists. Pete Skidmarks, 0 and 0. Brad Burr, 2 goals, 1 assist. Tim Scott, 55 saves, 86% save percentage.
Wait, how many assists did Paul have?
That was Conco, Paul, in case you couldn't hear.
The leading assist man.
86% in a game star for Tim Scott to round it up.
Timmy Scott. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed this. 129 shots on goal for this game.
Yeah, 64 and 65. Even, too. It wasn't even like one team was running away with it. 64 on the one side, 65 on the other.
And that one extra shot, was that right? Yeah, that one extra shot.
Maybe that was an extra goal.
That was the win. That was a win. But it was a good game. I really enjoy seeing Gianni and Paul battle. These are guys that have played together outside of our league a lot. And I know Gianni likes to show off big time, and I know Paul likes to battle on them one-on-ones. They're always fun to watch. Alex, man, this guy is a great goaltender this year. He was a great pickup to have in this game. The one thing, and I keep hitting on it every single week because he was a rookie in my season, and I always have talked very highly of him. 43 points in his first season and 34 points in his second season. This year, he's just falling flat. Kevin Baldwin with only 1 goal and 1 assist tonight. You know, if this
is
team...
it chemistry? What is it? What is it?
And that's something that's kind of boggling my mind is because, you know, first season he was with Zach, and obviously Zach can play with anyone, and they had a great chemistry to get to that 43 points. Second season, he was with a team that really didn't have a number 1 scorer, Austin 316s, and they all kind of worked together to score the goals. But this season, he's working with Gianni, and Gianni's a great passer, but I feel like maybe he's focusing too much on defense. I just don't know it. And if Dave King and him can kind of lighten the load together so that they're both scoring good amounts, you can get there. But, Jeremy, what do you think was the difference maker of last night on why they were able to take the win?
So, I mean, I think it's a pattern that we've been developing in all of our games where we kind of tire ourselves out in the first. We go all out. We try to, you know.
You led 3-2 in the first.
And we play the game that we want to play. We get caught a lot, but we're because of all the criticism that we get on defense, we're hustling back more in the first period, and then by the time the second period comes, really the biggest thing in this game was a ton of sloppy passing on our end in the second period, a ton of sloppy play in general for our team in the second period. We seem tired, and then as a pattern, it comes to the third period, now it's time to play catch-up, and we've been getting almost there with that catch-up. We're kind of just right below where we need to be.
And to your point about really hustling in the first period and the second period, you're -1 in the first period as far as goal differential, +2 in the third period, you're -18 in the second period. I mean, that's real. That's
The minus 18 in what period?
in the
Second.
second
The
period.
second.
In the second
I didn't
period.
realize that.
Yeah. So I
Because
mean,
I know you guys lost in the second 1-5, but I thought that was an anomaly. I didn't realize it was every second.
yeah,
No,
every
no,
second
literally
they were
every
down.
second,
The first 2 weeks was 9 goals against. The third and fourth week was 5 goals against. So I mean, something's happening in the second period, but I think it's to your point that you're hustling so much in the first period, and then second period rolls around, but then you have a great third period.
Third
so
period
it's just
is-
not a full
desperate.
60 minutes.
Desperation time in the third period, trying to catch up for the deficit that we left in the second.
Yeah.
Just a little bit too big of a hole. Man. I mean,
Yeah.
you did. You won the third 5-3.
I mean, a lot of good points though for my team this week. I saw a lot of good stuff happening with the guys, so it's a lot to build off of.
All of your losses, except for the one blowout, have been close. I mean, you're 0-4, but you've got 3 close losses that really could have gone either way. And you know, you guys did a little bit less of a hole. You know, even just lose the second by 1 or 2 goals. You end up winning those games.
by significant margins too, if they're playing the third period so much. So
We're going to talk about that as a team. What you just said, Bob. I'll run it by the guys, and we'll try to lose the second period by less goals.
All right, new tactic, guys. Let's lose the second by 1.
we'll win the game. We'll win the game.
You know, on the Furious 5 side, they were obviously, to me at least, trying really, really hard to pass. And so maybe they listen to the podcast. But,
They definitely listen to the podcast.
But, like, and it looked good. It did look good. They didn't finish on a lot of them. I mean, they only finished with 1 assist out of the 10 goals. But they were, like, you could see that they were actually thinking about passing more. And, you know, if that starts to come together a little bit more, like, they're going to just get better and better.
I think one of the scariest parts though is Brad Berger scores 2 goals and 1 assist.
Yeah, sugar tits.
Breakout performance. I actually gave him a game star over Tim Scott. I
Whoa!
really did. Yeah. No, I thought Tim played a good game. I'm going to pull up Peter here and talk about how good the guy is. I'm not giving a game star to.
Good.
But
good.
no, I thought Tim Scott played a good game, but I don't think he was challenged that much compared to a lot of the saves he made were relatively routine saves. And Brad was in the right place at the right time, and he's the only one right now that looks like he has true chemistry with Paul. And Jesse is working on it. I think it's getting better, but Brad was in the right spot. You got to give him credit for finishing on 2 and having the only assist on the team. The only one to have an assist on the team was Brad.
It was a beautiful pass.
Brad knows how to play with Paul, though. He knows that Paul's not going to pass to him, so he just better go around the net and just scoop up the crap. And then he loves playing Gianni, too, and just bothering the shit out of him, and that's what he did that game.
Yeah.
And with Tim's a goalie that excels with the long shots, and that's what the Sugar Hill gang is built on.
He plays the angles better than anyone else.
Yep.
No, you're right, and I will say, and I'm not just trying to say it's the Brad and Paul show or anything. Brad and Jesse had a couple of looks on each other, and Brad didn't finish on a couple of Jesse's passes, and Jesse was obviously upset by that. But on the flip side, Brad put one right on Jesse's stick with a wide open net that Jesse didn't finish on either. So it's the whole team has to still come together.
Yeah, they have some more work to do, but both of these teams coming in obviously were 0-3, and similar to game 1, someone was walking away with a win. Well, actually, every game someone's walking away with a win, but someone's walking
Is that
away.
how that works?
Yeah, actually. But these guys were looking for their first win of the season. Both teams were just very frustrated. Furious 5, Paul to me just looked like he was going to do everything possible to get this win. Sugar Hill is getting better. I think this was definitely a great game for you. The third period was a much better, one of the best periods I've seen out of you guys. But what do you think? Do you think you can turn it around? I mean, being 0-4 right now, Jeremy?
Yeah. I mean, I finally like that we're.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Next game.
I mean, I like that we're starting to give games that you guys can actually use to get a good judge of what our team is. Yeah.
So we can use
This game is good. You guys can look at this game. So.
Does everyone else agree with the stat keeper on Gianni, Paul, and Tim? Am I the only one that took it from Tim and gave it to Brad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are.
Brad needs to finish. And I think that's part of Paul's problem, is that he has nobody that he trusts on his team. How many times did he force a pass that somebody completely blew it?
Yeah.
Where he would have been better off taking the shot.
Yeah. Well,
He wants those assists.
there is something to be said
He
for
wants to prove people wrong.
Well, but there's something to be said for being like the perennial MVP. Like the trophy's named after him. He's there for a reason. The guy can score. So, it's not a big knock on him for saying he's not passing. The knock is you got to score more. And he scored 4 in the second, 6 overall. I think he did what he needed to do.
Yeah, I know there was times in the game where even from the bench or on the floor when he had the puck and it was the line of, him, Pete, and Brad, and I would just flat out say, he's shooting. He's not going to pass. He's shooting.
And he passed a few times on that.
Yeah, but I think it was more so like, not only was I saying that to try to get in his head a little bit more, like, oh yeah, pass, please.
It worked.
But on top of the fact that, like, your chances are he's shooting on that line.
It's a better play.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone here on the table, maybe except for
Yeah.
Peter, could be out there on the floor with him, and he's still better off to shoot because he's
Yeah.
got one of the best shots.
Not to mention,
It's
on
always
that
like
line specifically, those guys have specifically told him, hey, don't pass to us.
Yeah.
Shoot the fucking puck.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
pass it to
That
us.
was last week. That
Yeah.
was one of my
That's
favorite.
pretty gold.
That was one of my favorite faces I've ever seen Brad make when passed it to him. Brad's like, "What are you doing?"
Or when
Well,
they
that's
get a
how that
pass
works.
and then immediately give it right back.
I want this.
I'm calling out Gaffey for that. He does that.
That's how I play basketball. You pass me the ball, I'm like, no, I don't want this. Someone else take it.
Hot potato.
If we're gonna move on to the next game, I'm gonna use this as a bridge between the two games. I've been making fun of Post for sounding like the Tasmanian Devil. He didn't talk much during his game, but he reffed this third game, and I swear to God, I had no idea what he was saying every time he went to the orange. Allegedly, he was yelling orange and pointing at the orange team when the puck was going to orange, but it was one syllable. I don't know what it was. Like, the guy just, every week, I look forward to hearing whatever the hell Post is going to say.
Good guy.
That's my 2 cents.
I think that it was a little tough for the NWA to talk much this week. They were getting run up and down the court nonstop. They were down a sub, playing 3 or 4 of the fastest guys in the league, just running them back and forth. They were probably out of breath.
Yeah. Jerry, you want to go to the stats?
Yeah, game 4. We have the NWA with a loss and 7 goals to the Roots with 17 goals.
How many was that?
17. On the NWA side, we had Mike Sturgis, 3 goals, no assists, and a game star. Dave Foss, 1 goal, no assists,
No screams.
no screams. Steve Newberry, 2 goals, 0 assists. Jamie Habitsruler, 1 goal, 1 assist. Conco, 50 saves, 75% save percentage. Excuse me, that was a 75 save percentage.
How many saves did his migraine have?
Not enough. On the Root side, we have Pete Lundstedt, 6 goals, 3 assists, and a game star. Dan Gladding, 3 goals, 1 assist. Austin the Brahma Bull, 4 goals, 2 assists, 2nd game star. Andy Gauvin, 1 goal, 1 assist. Ian Smith, 3 goals, 1 assist. Kenton, 41 saves, 85% save percentage.
Let me start out by saying, how much can we really talk about the game? It was out of hand. It was out of hand early. You're missing Mike Bryant, your first round pick, your fifth or sixth pick overall, and it's not just that he was such a high pick, but the team. He's the kind of guy where the team has to mold around him. He's not a kind of plug and play guy. He's not like a Zach Davis or someone who's going to come in and just play with everyone around him. He's not like someone who is adaptable. He plays his style, and everyone else on the team molds to it. And for good reason. He's very, very good. But when he's not there, it just completely cripples the team, I thought.
And I think you're looking at every team is ultimately going to be handicapped without their top scorer. Last night was definitely rough for them. They were shut out in the first, 1 goal in the third period, so 1 goal in the first and third period combined. They had a great second period, outscoring us 6-4. I do have to talk about their team for sure. Steve is a fantastic agitator. I mean, throughout the night, I was getting frustrated with him. And I love playing against him because he plays the puck, but at some points he was playing my body a little bit more. And I was just like, you can't play the body. And then he would go and he would score a goal. And I'd be like, are you serious right now? But there's so much fun. He's so much fun to play against because he doesn't stop. And I think one of my favorite moments of last night is Austin comes off the floor. We're both on the bench. And he goes, man, that guy doesn't slow down, does he? And he was just like completely just dead face. And he's like, I'm exhausted from him running around at me. I mean, he's got your defensive skills, Jeremy.
Who?
Steve
Newberry?
Only the best. Speaking of defense, Austin played some.
Yes, he did.
Austin actually played some defense, and it didn't look bad.
No, I'm really, really excited about how the team played last night overall. I mean, obviously 7 goals against is great. This game would be completely different with Mike Bryant in the lineup.
7 goals against, but only 48 shots on net. And those 48 shots on net weren't even all. There were some nice goals and there were some nice shots, but there weren't a lot of high quality shots on net. There was mainly desperation shots.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest point that I want to make towards this game is Mike Bryant, missing him is, it hurts the team, but at the same time, going into the draft, you got to know that Mike Bryant's at least going to miss 3 or 4 games in a season.
Yeah, Conco.
Yeah, I know.
So you automatically, by that thought, are you automatically taking a loss 3 or 4 games at that point? The rest of the team has got to step up when he's not
The
there.
rest of the team did step up, though, in some regard. They lost 17 seconds. They didn't step up enough. But every single one of them had a goal. I mean, it wasn't, they tried to pick up the slack the best they could. The second period, every single one of them had a goal in the second. Now, at that point, they outscored 6-4. They were still down 10-6. It was never even close. But I hear what you're saying, and I agree. But at the same time, Conco doesn't have a great night. He's facing a ton of 2-on-1s. The whole team's getting out hustled. I don't know. What can you say?
I mean, to me, coming into this game, it's every time I'm going into a game with a player down, I just want to out hustle them. I want to be up a lot in the beginning because
So you didn't like to run.
You put a stick in my hand, I'll run, and that's the only way I'm really gonna do it. But I'm excited for my team because we definitely pounded hard. We didn't slow down. Another week, we have 4 guys in the lineup having a hat trick. Once again, they didn't have their top player there, so the defense was down. Yeah.
Is it the curse of the Roots?
Who knows? I'm excited about it. I'm excited about my team's offense for sure. Defense and goaltending was better tonight. Only 1 goal in the first and 1 goal in the first and the third period combined without their number 1. If we can keep scoring, we can compete every game, but we got a lot of work to do if we're looking to take over the top spot.
Also, high assist totals for a team for the night, for your team.
Yeah, go us. Yeah, it was fun passing last night.
Yeah, 8 assists on 17 goals, but it was still less than half.
Yeah, but
Here's what happened, okay? So, Mike let us know, I think it was like the day before that he was going to be out, so we tried to game plan around that, and I told the guys going in that, we're looking at a really fast team that's run and gun style, where we're more of a possession, slow it down, take it easy, defense first type of team. And I said we're gonna get killed if they get into a run and gun type of game with us. And sure enough, that's what happened. Our guys were all tired out, and we were down Mike, but Mike, we play as a certain kind of team with Mike in the lineup. And without Mike, we found ourselves kind of just dumping the puck down more. We didn't possess it enough like we should have. We couldn't set up a lot of the plays, so we ended up taking just really crappy shots, throwing it on net, hoping it would stick, and that killed us. And as the game wore on, we got more and more tired, and we weren't getting back in time on defense, but then again, we weren't getting up on offense, so we were kind of we're screwing ourselves there because we wanted to try to make something on offense, but that ended up killing us on D.
I was excited to see Sturgis. I was excited to see Sturgis score his 3 goals tonight.
Yeah.
They were pretty. They were from the left side to the right side of the net. Beautiful goals the way he's meant to shoot.
Yeah. And Conker, to your point, the only period you won, the second period, you outshot, was the only period you outshot them, 18-15. Overall in the night, your team was outshot 19 times. You're never going to win a game if the other team is putting up 19 more shots on goal. Just never going to happen.
Every single one of us, we were all so mad. I wanted to break my stick. Jamie told me he wanted to break his stick later this morning when I talked to him.
Dude, that guy doesn't play emotional at all.
Yeah, we were all really pissed. And I usually don't get pissed at a game, but there were so many goals that I let in that I know I could have had or I got a piece of, and it just really pissed me off. And
sorry,
I think we could have played a much better game than we did, but whatever.
For those of you, we need to get video set up here at some point, but Conker's about to jump over the table and strangle Pete.
Yeah, he keeps looking at me every time he talks.
Give him the hairy eyeball, man.
Is there room in this circle of dirt?
Of course. Well, there's always room.
Are you guys done, or can I come?
No. Oh, no.
What?
I see what you did there. Okay, so my 3 games. So in case you couldn't tell, that was Mr. Campbell. Kurt joined us and knocking stuff over, but it's his own studio, so it's okay. I am going to take the game star away from Sturgis myself. I'm going to give it to Dan Gladden. Hat trick in the first period alone, and that was when they were setting the tempo, they were setting the tone. I thought that was a big difference maker to have that hat trick in the first. Kurt is now crawling underneath the table.
God.
All right.
Hardest point I ever earned.
I gave my game star to Kenton.
Did you take it from Mike again?
Yeah, I did take it from Mike. 41. I obviously not a lot of saves tonight, but 0 goals in the first, only 1 goal in the third. Bad second period, and I know he wasn't facing a lot of shots, but I thought he played well tonight.
I gave it to Ian instead of Mike because I thought Ian kind of got under our skin a little bit, frustrated us, and him standing in front of the net really set up a lot of your guys' offense.
He did have a little friendly shoving with Sturgis.
Yeah.
Friendly.
Yeah, Mike was telling me he either thought it was going to be a really long game or a really short game after that. And
They're lucky they didn't get tossed after that.
Yeah.
For that reason, I'm going to stick with Mike for showing restraint. Better men have not.
And some of those better men are sitting around this table right now.
So, Mike gets it.
All right, week 3.
Three stars of the week. Jerry Bear.
Stars of the week. I have Chris Enright, Air Canada, Pete Lunchables.
I have no disagreement there.
same here.
I want that to be my new
Who was the
nickname.
first?
Enright, 8 goals.
Sure, he deserves it. It's been a long 4 games for him.
You seem so mad about giving it to him.
Really are.
You kept throwing him a bone here. You're like, all right.
If-
Well, he deserves it. I feel like
you
that
sell him.
third period, he really exploited the lack of defense on. Was it Run DMC?
Yeah.
All right. Couple of awards for the week. The Flom Eye Institute with Dr. Scott McCrae for the LASIK Surgery Award goes to Kurt Brownell and Dave Fose in Maine 2.
Is it a trend?
That was I hate to call you out, especially after you just got here, Kurt, but that was not the best refereeing I've seen all year.
I want to say at one point though, wasn't it like Kurt and Kenton, and they were
Yeah,
even worse?
yeah.
Oh, was it Kenton instead
Yeah, it
of
was
Fose?
Kenton.
I'm
It was
sorry,
Kenton.
Fose.
The best part about it was at the end of the game.
Yeah, this is what
Chris
made me
Magic. What'd you call him today?
Chris Magic Mike's team.
Chris Magic Mikeski comes bolting off the bench because they thought they were pulling the goaltender. But Ramsey was still in net, comes bowling in, slides on the floor, and then Ramsey runs off and no one calls
so
him.
what's even like immediately running off? Ramsey looked at him for a second, like frozen, like, wait, hold on. Did he just come out and I'm not gone yet? And they played with like 4 floor players and a goalie for like 10 seconds before Ramsey came off the floor.
Oh, Kurt, I felt so bad for you and Kenton when I was watching that game. I felt terrible.
I'm still kind of. You know what? I'm not going to debate it. It definitely was. It was tough reffing, but there was no lack of second guessing, and yeah, that was not fun. That's the game. Is that where you guys probably already talked about Enright, right?
Yeah.
Or not Enright.
Tim
Anderson.
JJ and Tim.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah.
That was like I felt like I was watching the Hulk be born with Tim Anderson.
And the hard part about giving you the Florida Institute Award is because not all of it was bad reffing. It was just hostile. Like, and everyone was yelling at the refs. And then just the very end of having a clear 2 men on the ice was just.
Yeah, I didn't.
Congrats
Thank
on
you.
that.
I didn't even know there were too many guys until I heard them shout too many guys because I was busy looking at the other end of the court. But yeah, it was. It was like a Chinese fire drill down there. That was pretty cool.
And don't forget the refs are
Never-
volunteers, and they are your peers, and the guys that play in the league, so give them a break.
Never a good moment when Drunk Scott shouts too many guys.
Woo! And we have officially gone there.
Our next award is the Rochester Roman Catholic Exorcist Guild for the Man Possessed Award, going to Tim Anderson. He obviously was possessed by something as he just goes full out at JJ and just, I mean, like, it wasn't even like a hockey play. Like, it was just full on 20-game suspension. I'm taking you out. type.
You know. Here's the best. Tim comes up to me after the game and said, "Hey, I just want to let you know, I wasn't trying to hurt anybody. Do you think I maybe came on a little too hard?" And I had to give it a beat. And is he joking? I'm like, yeah, you might have just overdone it just a little bit, but
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, I was talking to Laley today, and he goes, "Yeah, Tim didn't mean to. He said he was really intense. He was playing intense. He didn't mean to do it."
No, Kurt sent me his write-up beforehand, but he was talking about Tim being on meth. I thought it was more like smoking bath salts or something, where he just like
Jeez.
went at him.
Yeah, he had a crazed look in his eye for sure.
This might be a new recurring award. So for the week, the Herbal Essences Second Best Hair of the Week award. Because it's got to be second to Joe Gann. So the second best hair of the week goes to Mike Sturgis.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful hair.
His hair was on point.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
He did say he had product in it.
Yeah. Well, I think he said that he was going for best hair of the week because his points weren't matching up.
I think you should put a bandana on like Ian, and then they can,
Yeah, what's under the bandana? Maybe Ian has best hair.
Whoa.
So, Peter, I think you had another award for us?
Yeah. My play of the week is brought to you, Excellus, reminding you that preventative screening is now fully covered under the ACA. Ian was blocking the net in front of Conco, and I took a shot, went right to his Strachan berries. The puck drops at his feet. He hits it through his leg, through Conco's 5-hole for a goal. He was so upset, grabbing his nards, but hey, he scored the goal, and it was awesome. So
When
make sure you
When
get
it
checked.
hit him in the dick, I actually yelled out, "Oh, right in the dick!"
Does that make it a 10-hole shot? I think it does.
It was awesome.
If you do the math.
Great game.
Let's transition into plays of the week. That was PDR's Excellus reminding you, men, get your prostate screening. Mine goes to actually Paul Paradigm going coast to coast, deking past all three players. Literally went through all three guys.
I think he went through all 6 guys. He went through his own team.
He
did.
And himself.
And then he goes right side of the net, left side of the net. Alex sprawls out. Then he goes back right side. Doesn't even look like he's trying. Just kind of flips it in nonchalant while Alex is on his face with just what's it called, like a yard sale in skiing. He just completely destroyed the entire.
Sellout crowd went crazy. It was awesome.
Yeah.
My play of the week, I'm going with, I'm not sure what period it was, but Brett Siebert made a nasty kick
the
save.
Kick save, third period.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So that's my play of the week.
Kick save and a view.
Yeah, me too. I didn't see it, but I heard it, and so.
We needed about 3 more of those to be in
that's my play of the
contention.
week.
Is it my play of the week turn?
Yeah.
Don't ask me who passed these pucks, because there were so many roots running up and down the floor. But it was 2 passes to Dan Gladding on the left side, and I don't know if it was a one-timer as much as it was a redirect straight to the top left corner. It was the best thing he's ever done in his life.
I just meant to pass it to Ian, and Ian slapped it towards the net, and then Dan was just right there to put it home. It was.
I have to give an honorable mention to Austin because he had a really nasty
Oh my gosh.
heel drag through the defense and then backhand to the top corner.
Does he ever, do the corners of his mouth ever go up more than a half smile? Even after he makes the sick play, he just kind of looks over and he's like,
No,
yeah,
he actually
I
gets
did
grounded
that.
if he does that.
Really? Okay.
When they
Only when
cut
he's cutting meat.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
So-
My play of the week was the Anderson J.J. Wagner thing. We all have these great offensive plays. It is a play.
Yeah,
It was a play.
It was a
a goal.
series of plays.
There
resulted in a penalty.
there was as much kinetic energy in that play as Paul Paradine deking past all 6 players.
and a lot more anger.
Yeah.
So we're running a little short on time, so let me just put a placeholder out there for you guys. We are going to start taking criticism, feedback, whatever, and we're going to be answering it in the segment. So we might do it in the recap segment if we have time, in the preview segment, but since we're running a little short on the recap session, we won't get to it, but just look forward to Monday when the podcast comes out. We'll talk about some of the, I shouldn't say criticism, some of the contrary opinions to things that we've said. And so put in the comment section anything that you guys don't agree with, or you want to just make fun of us for. Say it, and we might respond to you. Give you a little shout out at the end of the game.
Throw a rock through my window.
Throw a rock through Peter's window.
still
But
like
make
that.
sure you put the criticism on first, otherwise that should be it.
And he's going to criticize a broken window with no rock.
Well, it depends on, it would probably be better than your defense, though.
Whoa!
Oh.
Shit.
All right,
Oh.
so for the finish us out here. So everyone should have a list of the players in front of you. Hopefully, if you don't, let me know so you can look at your options here. But no one has heard this question yet, and I haven't thought about my answer yet.
So excited.
You're entering, or the whole league is entering a dance competition. Who wins? Who is the dark horse that surprises everyone? And who comes in dead last?
Well, I'm gonna go me. I'm winning this.
Oh, yeah?
I'm a DJ. I want to
You
win.
might have mentioned that before.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to get some more jobs. So I am definitely going to win this. My Ooh, you know what? You know who I'm
Who's
gonna
your
go
dark
with?
horse?
My dark horse. How'd you know? No. Ian, I already gave Ian a great award this week, but my dark horse is Steve Kazmark. I feel that man can really break it down, and I don't know why, but I feel like he could break dance. That's
You think you can break this?
Oh, absolutely. I can
Oh,
see him
sick.
spinning on his head and everything like that. That's my pick.
So the question was who's winning it and who's the dark horse.
Yeah, who's winning it and who's gonna just basically surprise him? Might not win it, but just like everyone's like, oh wow, that guy's got moves.
I'm gonna go with for winning it, Matt Ferngully, because if you've seen some of the moves that he puts on,
That's true. That guy's active.
he's gonna win it. And then for dark horse, I'm just gonna say Gianni, because he's got the moves.
Oh, and we missed the part of the question too. Who comes in dead last?
Oh, dead last.
I'm coming in dead last.
You're coming in dead last. Peter, who's your dead last? I don't know who said it.
Gaffey.
What? Why?
Gaffey.
Every Asian person I've ever seen can dance.
He's an engineer, though.
Wait, he was somebody's dead last?
Yeah.
Yours.
He was my dead last because that's why.
Alright. I'm going with who's winning it. I'm gonna go with Jesse Trado. He's a young kid, college age. I feel like he's cutting a rug up in Buffalo somewhere. My dark horse, Kevin Baldwin. He's from Brooklyn in the '80s, so he's got to have some b-boy shit going on there.
He's spinning on his head somewhere on a pizza box.
Right now.
Yeah, right. That's how he listens to this.
He I don't think I've met somebody else who loves the mix that I put together for this season more than Kevin Baldwin, which makes me think
He's a big Zeppelin fan, too.
he's in a tracksuit right now with a fucking Kangol waiting to listen. The dead last, I'm probably gonna go Shane Humphreys. He probably has nothing to do with that shit.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm gonna start then because I was gonna go with Shane as my dead last too. I just can't see it happening.
Sorry, Shane.
Yeah, I mean,
best one out of all of us. He's
no,
gonna
I mean if
show
it was
up
a
and
mosh,
move on.
if he was moshing,
Oh my God.
I think he's gonna wipe up.
Yeah, I
But
never said we had a dance competition.
yeah. Oh, you didn't? Okay. Well, all right. Well, in that case, my dark horse is Jesse. I feel like he's got, I see him practically do a dance every time he misses a goal. He kind of does, gyrations and twitches and a lot of head jerking around. But my winner is Steve Newberry, because I know that he's going to pull out some Napoleon Dynamite shit, and you know it's there. And I have watched him do the jogging hula hoop thing.
Steve, you beat me.
I did?
You beat me.
I got thinking, I'm like, who's the guy? He's got it. He's got it. I want to ask him to do it next game. Let's say just do the Napoleon Dynamite, breakdown.
He wins. Yeah, you're right. He beats me.
You know he's got cassette tapes that he just jams out to.
He's making chimichangas and chocolate covered
Man,
balls.
congrats, Steve. Good job. Good work.
Yeah,
Good work, Steve. You've won it already. You haven't even competed.
Completely different.
No, you can reuse.
I think
Just
that
give us new
you guys
rationale.
aren't thinking enough about traditional ballroom dancing, and I'm going to say
No,
Gaffney
we are
wins
not.
that, because to me he's the most cultured member of this league. He's flying in and out of Asia.
Ballroom
Yeah.
dancing.
Asia, the city of Asia.
We got Broadway Peter here.
Black tie.
He's the DJ. He doesn't dance.
Or your best man.
My dark horse is Kyle Antilla, because I figure he's taught a Zumba class once.
But he also listens to country, so
So he's got some emotion.
Emotions important.
Yeah.
He can line dance.
He's like in that movie Ted, when that guy's drinking that drink and he's in front of the TV, No? Am I lost?
yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying. Alright,
Save it
yeah.
here.
Dead last. Jamie Habitstruder.
Roto-Rooter?
Roto-Rooter. Wow.
Dude, have you ever
I don't
seen
know.
him dance? It's incredible.
No, I haven't.
Oh my
That's
God,
the
it's
problem.
amazing.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
And I rest my case. Alright, I'll finish out. Mine are not as good as your guys', and now that I'm listening to all these awesome answers. I was going to go with my winner, Jesse Trio, also. But, I'll go Mike Sturgis. I think
Boom.
the guy, guy's got to have moves. He's got the swagger. He's got the looks. He's got a. I bet you the guy's a solid dancer. My dark horse is gonna be Dan Glading because I think the guy's full of just heart and just gives it his all to everything he does. And I think dancing is just about feeling the music and feeling the emotions, and I think he could express himself.
He's got good
I
vibration.
could see him doing that squatting Russian.
Yeah, with the keeping the feet out. Yeah.
Or maybe even river dance or something. I'm sorry to Mr. Tim Scott, but I believe that Tim Scott comes in last just because he's so technically sound, but there's not a lot of heart and there's not a lot of ad-libbing. He doesn't ad-lib, he just goes by the book, and I don't think he's going to dance competition at all.
That mustache, though.
If he is wearing the pads, definitely not.
Yeah,
They get in the way.
He was
Yeah.
my second choice for dead last.
Second choice. So I got last, and he got second to last with John. Well, all right, we've unraveled quickly here. Thank you for listening to the Week 4 recap. Tune in. We should be releasing the Week 5 preview sometime around Monday. Is it Wednesday yet?